Imagine this, you just arrived in a new country. You're exhausted, you're jet lagged, you're hungry. And then your teammate just cannot stop taking photos everywhere. I don't know about you, Thomas, but I'd be very frustrated.
I can definitely understand what you're saying. Maybe because sometimes I'm that friend that takes too many
you're
photos.
the problem.
But the thing about these sort of journeys is it's not just about the destination, but it is about the journey and those you're journeying with.
Yikes, that's so cringe. But it's true. Cross-cultural trips always involve working with other people. So today, we are going to talk about the importance of understanding yourself and your teammates. Because, let's be honest, teamwork can be really awesome, but at the same time, it can be really annoying.
But at the same time, teamwork can be a really powerful example of God's love. Because when you're going on these sort of trips, you're not individuals called to work in the same place together. You are a team. You're one body of Christ together. And this can be a really powerful example. And this is why Jesus makes it really clear that how we treat each other matters. As he says, it's through love that his followers are set apart.
Mm-hmm. There's a powerful situation in John chapter 13 that speaks directly to this. Jesus just released Judas to betray him, and he talks to his disciples about something shocking. Let's listen to John chapter 13, verse 33. My children, I will be with you only a little longer. You will look for me. And as I told the Jews, so I tell you now, where I am going, you cannot come.
Imagine the disciples hearing this, that Jesus, their teacher, their friend, is not going to be with them for much longer. I bet that they were confused and grieving and just overwhelmed. But still, Jesus finds it crucial to give them a new command at this moment. As in verses 34 and 35, a new command I give to you, love one another. As I have loved you, you must also love one another. It is through this that everyone will know you are my disciples, if you love one another.
Jesus knew that the world would recognize his followers not by their deeds alone, not by their words alone, but by the love they have for each other.
Yeah, and this is just as true for us today. So, as you plan for your trip, remember that the love you show for your teammates is a part of your witness. People will see Jesus through how you treat one another.
So, what does this mean for you and your teammates now? Well, first, it starts with understanding yourself and your teammates. The better you know each other, your strengths, your weaknesses, your struggles, and your differences, the better you can extend kindness and grace and love, and the better the love of Christ can shine through you to the unreached world.
So now let's hear from some other people and the stories they have of working with others on cross-cultural trips.
On one occasion, when I was a very new missionary, I went to a tribal funeral. And I'm very much American, particularly if you're talking, 40-something years ago. And I had my camera, and like a tourist, I was enamored with all these very unique type ceremonies that were taking place among the tribal groups. So I took my camera out and I was taking a number of pictures. Well, the OMF missionary who was in charge of the funeral, he sat me down afterwards, and he obviously was very upset at my Americanism and just being like a tourist at such a solemn and very serious type ceremony. And the thing that God gave me grace to very quickly admit my error and to confess to him that I can see that I was wrong. And we became very close friends. I mean, we were fine after that.
When we were in Thailand, we wanted to serve university students. We didn't quite have any connections on the way in. And so one of our ideas was just to hang out around the English department and see which students would like to practice their English. And so we were hanging around, it was lunchtime, and it was really cool because the way our team works, some people are more extroverted than others, and other people are skilled in different ways. And so it's easier for the extroverted people to start conversations, even if they didn't understand the same language. So one of our teammates started a conversation with someone and found out that he actually spoke another language, which was Hmong. And one of our teammates was Hmong. And so she was able to start like real conversations in Hmong, even though we were in Thailand. And it ended up being this really beautiful discipleship opportunity. And so it was just cool to see the way God used the different members of our team and also just our different strengths and skills to bring in this discipleship opportunity.
We are together all the time. Like we stay in the same apartment, but we each have our own room. But in the morning, we left together in a taxi, and then we go teach according to the schedule, and then we all come back and have lunch together, and then go back and teach. And after we're done, we go back by taxi together, and we go out to eat together. It's together all the time. I'm just like, can I have a time by myself?
Right now, I'm spending my whole day with two girls, and one is from Hong Kong and one is from China. And it's very cool, but it's also very intensive because you need to spend your quiet time, your rest time, your sleep, your morning routine, your evening routine, everything you have to share with those girls. So that's pretty intensive because I only know them for 3 days.
I never had like friends from like Germany, a friend from like Brazil, and then we met in like weeks, and then now we're like just out there giving 100%, you know, like whether it's a dance or whether it's we are playing a sport, reaching out to the local people. It's definitely more impactful having a team than just one person, for sure. The scale of things can be done on a bigger platform.
I think everyone's really open to the idea that everyone's come from slightly different places. So when there are like missteps and misunderstandings, it's really easy to kind of step back and go, okay, we're on different pages right now. Where's the problem coming from?
But the challenge is, of course, we all have personalities, opinions, cultures that we were brought up differently. And I think the way how we think, how we encounter with different issues, and how can we express our thoughts among the team, it can create conflict.
There was this one guy, I guess, on a mission trip to Thailand, and at first I thought he was like just loud and kind of bossy and trying too hard almost, you know, to maybe like impress the elders or the leadership, and I just don't naturally get along with people like that. So I think it was more so just like internal grumbling or maybe complaining to my sister who was on that trip with me. Just kind of like, oh, this guy kind of annoys me. Like, we had to be with him for the next couple of weeks. Like, okay, I'm just gonna let him do his thing and I'm just gonna try to stay away from him. But I think, again, with like the shifting my mindset, I realized that like he's just very like earnest. I think I just really tried to see his heart and like who he is and why. Like, it's just his personality. And I think because we were able to share certain experiences together, serving in the local context, I was able to see more of his heart and who he is instead of just seeing like the exterior personality traits that might be a little bit abrasive to me. So I think seeing his heart and getting to know him better helped to just like really shift my perspective about him. And I think that after I was able to do that in my own heart, like I was able to get along with him just fine.
But I think communication and being honest about what you're feeling and how you're doing. And I think acknowledging that more likely than not, your other teammates are feeling that way as well. And we don't have to have it all together. We don't have to be perfect and mask it all.
We're like calling each other and texting each other, kind of like prepping each other, praying for one another, even before we're on the field. And then once we're on the field together, it just felt like I knew this person at least a bit before going in, especially when they were my roommate. And one of them was my roommate, and he was so messy. But he told me ahead of time he was going to be messy. And so, that made a big difference, and I'm really thankful for that because I'm not a messy person, and and he's so messy. He was so messy. And so even just hearing that like from them ahead of time was really helpful.
Seeing how we all come in with the understanding that, hey, we are all different and that's fine. It was amazing to witness. It gave me a taste of how heaven would be like when we all work together and when we all worship God together with our own strengths and differences.
We actually minister to one another a lot, and it's very rare to have like, or at least for me, it's very rare to have like people of like similar age with like a common goal, even like from different backgrounds, and the kind of growth that you have with one another actually is not easy when we like say goodbye and everything, even though it's like we only met for 3 weeks.
I feel like the synergy of a team is often brought together by getting on your knees together and praying together, understanding the heart of your teammate through the medium of prayer. If you're having conflict, probably the best way to sort that out is to sit down and pray through the issues.
So I think one big positive was that our team would pray for each other. We would stop and pray for each other and talk about things with one another and really just lift one another up and encourage one another. And I think that was really impactful, knowing that we're not alone and we don't have to do things individually.
So, step one of loving each other is to know yourself. What's your personality? Are you a planner or a more go with the flow sort of person? An early morning riser or just a 5 more minutes in bed sort of person?
And not just your personality, what things annoy you. Knowing these things before your trip will help you extend more grace to someone if you don't get along with them.
Take, for example, a basketball team. Each player on that team is unique. A center might look and act completely different to a point guard, but both are important. And when they work together well, everyone watching notices and are rooting for them to win.
In its own way, cross-cultural trip teams are very similar. That's why the Journey Guide is here to help you figure out your strengths, your weaknesses, and how God has shaped you for this moment. And here's the fun part, or the scary part. You get to share that with your teammates. Learn about each other even before you step on that plane.
And if you're going on a cross-cultural trip alone, don't worry, you can fill out these questions with a friend. Later, when you arrive at your host community, fill out the section about teammates as you get to know them.
Through all this, keep this in mind. Paul's word in Colossians chapter 3, verses 12 to 14. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, gentleness, humility, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity.
That's the goal. Not just to have a cross-cultural experience, but to work as a team together, showing the love of Christ to each other and to the people you serve.
So, take time to understand yourself and take time to understand your teammates and get ready for a new adventure, not just in a new culture, but in loving one another well.